For the past few weeks, we have been bombarded, including here, with talk about setting and reaching goals and intentions. There are gurus all around the world that tell you they have the best way to set your goals and the most perfect process in getting there. We talked about our own 7-step process to reaching intentions and goals. And even if they're true, even if all of these gurus are perfectly on, if we never take a step, we're never going to get there. The journey of 1,000 miles, we can imagine the end of it all day long, but if we never take that first step, we're not going to get there. Now, that first step does not have to be a physical action. Okay, that's where a lot of us get confused. We are human beings, not human doings. So what that means to me is we have to be 100% one with God. That's our action. Our action is to believe that, to know that, and to live in that. And then every step we make in life, we make that step as one with God, from the Christ mind, if you will. We get very confused. Even that 7-step process we worked on talked about imagining what the end result's going to be like, and that's very, very important. You have to have some sort of idea of where you're going, or basically any path will get you there. The trick is to know what you want out here and then release it. Don't have any expectations of what that's really going to look like. What I'm reminded of is the story of the guy that's hanging on the buoy out in the middle of the ocean, and a little rowboat comes by and says, "Here, hop in, I'll save you." The guy said, "No, God's going to save me." And so the guy rows off. Another guy comes by in his little motorboat, and, "Here, hop in, let me help you." "No, God's going to save me." The guy drives off. A little yacht comes by and, "Come on, get on board here." No, God's going to save me." And then a cruise ship, "God's going to save me." And he sends all these on. Well, eventually he gets tired, he falls off, he drowns, he goes to heaven, and, "God, I thought you were going to save me. I sent 7 or 8 boats to you." The guy had a perception of what end result was going to look like, instead of just being perfectly fulfilled in the fact that he was saved 7 or 8 times. We do not know how end result is going to be at the end, but as long as we keep in mind the feeling, this afternoon we're going to work on it. We're going to find out what those feelings are associated with that, so that we know when we get there. And we can take those feelings with us every step of the way. But that's this afternoon. Our path is to be done, like I said, in oneness with God. And folks, that is full of joy and full of love. And if your journey is anything less than that, call a timeout, step back, and look at again. How can you find joy and happiness and love and peace on your journey? Your journey can be anything. I read a beautiful story this week, which is what inspired this whole talk today. And it was of a man walking down the shore. He was on vacation, and he was visiting the beach, and he was just taking a nice little stroll. He had the waves coming in and going back out. So he had that sound going, that rhythm of the waves. He heard the gulls flying around. He felt the breeze. The sun was warming his face. And he saw way off in the distance, he saw somebody doing something. And, the closer he got, it looked like maybe they were doing some sort of dance. But this is out in the middle of nowhere. They probably didn't have music. He couldn't see any headphones or anything like that. And so he got a little closer, and he realized it was a woman. And yeah, she had this little dance going, and she was coming up on shore, and she would dip down and twirl and sway, and she'd step out in the water and kind of dip and swirl, and then she'd come back up and do it all over again. And so he's steadily catching up with her, and the closer he got, the more intrigued he became. He was just mesmerized with this whole dance that she had going. She was just in her own world. And as he got closer and closer and closer, he realized that she didn't have any headset. There was no music. She was just fully embracing whatever it was that she was doing, and he had to know what it was. He had to experience this. How can anybody have that much enjoyment without something from the outside entertaining them? He wanted to know what this stuff was. It had to be cool. So he moves and moves and moves. He speeds up his pace, and he gets up there, and he finally catches up to her, and he notices that every time she was on shore and she dipped down, she's picking up a starfish. She's taking a starfish back out in the water, and she'd come back up, pick up another one, and take it out in the water. So he finally gets into a run. I've got to figure this out. What's going on? So he catches up with her, and he says, What are you doing? I have to know. This has been so intriguing. She said, I'm simply returning starfish back to the water. He said, what's the dance and all of this stuff? You're wasting time. See, now he's caught up with what she's doing and not how she's doing it. This is what the world will tell us. It's more important what we're doing than how we do it in today's world. He thought that it would be better for her to reach over, pick one up, toss it, pick another one up, toss it, pick another one up, toss it. Well, where's the fun in that? There's not much. Where is the beauty in that? Maybe a little bit because you're saving some starfish, but not much. She said, this is just the way I do it. He said, why bother? Look at all of these. You're not going to get to save them all. What happened here? The tide came in and a storm washed them all up, and the tide's going back out, so she's trying to save them. He said, there's no way you can save all of these. There's thousands out here. You can't possibly make a difference. And she dips down and she picks one up, she twirls, she goes back in the water, she releases it, and she comes back up, she goes, to that starfish, I made all the difference in the world. Now, many lessons can be found in this story. First of all, her fun allowed her to continue this process much longer and much more efficiently than had she just picked up one and thrown it. Had she lost the fun, lost the enthusiasm, lost the love of what she was doing, she would have tired out very quickly. I don't know about any of you guys, but if you reach over and pick something up, take a few steps, drop it off, reach over, that becomes a workout. 15, 20 minutes of that, or if you're in really good shape, an hour of that, you're tired. By adding the fun into it, the tiredness does not come into play. It never hits your mind. And you can extend what you're doing. So through her enjoyment, through her love, through her dance, she extended what she was doing, which meant she was saving more starfish. She did not buy into this guy's negativity. She followed her own heart. She did it her own way. And when we fully connect with God, when we fully recognize that oneness, that I and my Father are one attitude, mentality, and belief, when we recognize that, we find joy, we find peace, we follow our own heart and follow our own way. It's not to get mad at this gentleman for saying you're never going to make a difference. It's to just say, but I do. It's to recognize that you really do. And in every action we take, we make a difference. We can choose for it to be a positive difference, like she did, or we can choose to have a negative outlook on things, like he did. Now, the amazing thing about this story is the man was fully mesmerized by her dance. He was totally caught up in her dance and the beauty of it and the flow of it until he realized that there was another purpose along with it, and then he let that one disagreement that he had with what she was doing and how she was doing it ruin the whole thing for him. So if you're driving I always go back to cars for some reason. If you're driving a 2006 Murano and you're perfectly happy with that, and then you turn on the TV and you see a commercial for a brand new Ford F-250, and that commercial causes you to be totally discouraged with the car you're driving, you've just done what happened to the man. You let the world create your reality. But if you watch that commercial and you say, that's nice, I'm staying over here where I'm satisfied. I'm staying over here where I am meant to be right now. You stay where the woman was. You follow your heart. You stay in the present. You don't start wondering about what if this happened, what if this happened, what if this happened. You start remembering, what if this all is perfect just like it is? The story goes on. There are so many different lessons that can be found here that I really could spend another 45 minutes on it. The point is, in your oneness with God, there is pure peace, pure joy, pure love. If you experience anything other than that, you've let a brick go into the wall between you and God. God doesn't disappear. Your connection, your oneness doesn't disappear. It's just that we build this little illusion in front of us. And this illusion is saying there is a disconnect. I read the other day that depression and most mental illnesses are nothing more than our bodies telling us that we've been fighting to believe in that disconnect for too long. We have held on to the illusion that we are no longer connected to God. And our minds and our bodies start giving out. They start, no. And then we start feeling sad. We start feeling that we have messed up. And that's where all this depression, this anxiety, this stress starts beating on us. The oneness with God never leaves. We are one with God. We are one with each other. God is everywhere present in all things. There's no way he's not within us. Or she. Or as a friend of ours says, it. Talking about God. However you want to phrase that. Luana and I were talking this morning about there is only one God. Now, people call it different things. You know, some of us say God, some of us say Muhammad, some of us are not Muhammad, Allah, the Great Spirit, the universe, highest power. You know, it doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it anything, and I honor it and respect it. But there's only one God, and that is a connection within each of us that is fully connected to each other and fully connected to the world. And when we tune into that, we do find peace. The world is telling us right now there is not much peace to be found. If you turn on the news, you're not going to find peace. So turn the news off. Find peace.
I did notice this week, that the scientific community, which I don't know that means the whole United States, said that they are getting more convinced that there is a God because the more science that they learn,
Yeah.
the more they believe that there is a God. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. Yeah. You know, for so long it was religion and science. You know, they were running, we thought that they were running parallel to each other, this one trying to disprove this one trying to disprove this one. And the harder they tried, the more they came together. And there is truly, like you say, there's scientific proof popping up. Yeah, there is a God. And yeah. Kathy and I have a niece that had a great T-shirt at one time that I just absolutely loved, and I've always believed this. She's on the front of the T-shirt. It said, "Yeah, I believe in the Big Bang Theory." On the back, it said, "God said go," and it said bang. You know, so yeah. You know, I think that the evolutionists probably have a lot of accuracy there. I don't for 1 minute believe that it just happened. There is an intelligent source that has created everything. And we are part of that creative source. We are one with that creative source. When we are one with it, we have the capability of being that creative source. Now, you're part of that creative source, so you are one. 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 I am one. We together make up the creative source.
I told So I was getting the stuff ready to go this week down there and taking things out. And she didn't really know on that CD. I read it and said, there's only one God and you are it.
Yeah.
So even I said, Reverend, I said, thank you so much for the note that you put on the CD. I said, I love it. And she said, what did I write? No. What did I write last song? Lord? She said, oh, that's exactly what I need to hear.
I'm going to repeat part of that because the microphone doesn't pick it up and the video won't show it. What Luana was just saying was she got a CD that said there is only one God and you are it. That is the truth. That is the truth. So I thank you for bringing that up again. I love that. I love that. So anyway, when you look at your path, release what the world is going to tell you it's supposed to look like. Release your own definition of what it's going to look like. You know, keep the thought in mind. Keep the idea of what your end result is going to be, but don't hold so tight to the end result that you go right past your goal. Let go of that. Enjoy the ride. Tap into your oneness. Feel your joy. Feel your peace. Feel your love. And you'll get there. And you will enjoy the journey. So, thank you.